This is a continuation of the video about setting php7's custom.ini file for PHP. Okay, I'm looking at the error log directive, which is supposed to list the directory path to a file where PHP would write its errors. And I figured out I don't want it to be syslog. And according to this right here, the file should be writable by the web server's user. And if this directive is not set, errors are basically going to be with the Apache error log file. For the CLI, they just show in standard error. So let me go back. So this is the path to the errors file for PHP. Let's see if that file exists in that location and which group owns it. It's var log. Okay, exit. Okay, here it's called PHP errors, and apparently it has been filling up with information, and it is owned by Apache, which can read and write to it. Okay, so that looks to be good. However, in production, I think the location is different. So I'm gonna need to verify the location before I put that same directive or variable in custom.ini on the production server for PHP7. And I've determined that these directives are all acceptable. Even the ones in production, which I think are double the amounts, are also acceptable. So now I'm gonna go create the equivalent custom.ini for production in the configuration of PHP 7.0. On the right, I have the custom.ini on production, and I had just pasted its equivalent on the production server from PHP 5. And on the left, I have the one that I just got done creating for my development environment. So now I need to figure out which directives this one is going to have. For error reporting, I'm not going to indicate anything because the default in php.ini is already what we want to have for a production server. Display errors on, well, the same thing, we don't need to set that. Log errors max length, yeah, that one is here. Okay, let me just move it to the top. All right, so the only other one for errors is this one, and let me move that to the top also. Now, what I want to do is to see if there really is this directory path and if the web server's user account is able to access this file called phperrors.log. It looks like everything is good. Even the file has data in it. PHP logs phperrors.log. Okay, max execution time, and this is in PHP.ini, it's set to 30. And in custom.ini, I had it set to 400. And this is on the production server only. And the other memory related and post max size and upload file size, those are all the same in production. Okay, so I'll show you. And here you see it. So memory limit is the same in development and production. Post max size is the same. Upload max file size is the same. And then we have this one called max execution time. PHP nmod-v7.0 custom. Remember there was PHP 5 nmod? Well, there's no PHP 7 nmod. It's PHP nmod-v7.0. I applied this to my development environment to add custom.ini configuration, and then I restarted Apache. I'm going to do the same thing for production. Here's an important thing to know. In my production server, I'm in the root directory, and we have a directory called PHP logs. The log file for PHP has to be in a directory that is accessible to the Apache server. That's why I put this directory, not only is it owned by the Apache user, it's also at the top level directory. It's not inside of any other directory. Because if it was, that directory would also have to have an X here for other, or it would have to also be owned or somehow accessible to the Apache user. That's why I saved myself the grief and put this PHP logs directory as high in the directory tree as possible.